How's it going, guys? My name is AJ Akpodiete, but you can call me AJ for short. I'm here with another, actually not thoughtful Thursday. Today I wanted to, I guess not just today, but I want to start making videos that have to do more with just like stuff that's going on in my head, but I also wanted to talk about stuff going on like in music in general, and with part of that it was like, oh, I'm kind of gonna do something like a little bit of both, like that has to do with other artists who are like not me, and also like giving my thoughts on something. And I wanted to give my top 5 favorite artists of 2017. And so these aren't necessarily like the top 5 best artists 2017, or even like the artists who had the best albums, but just the artists who like I felt like I enjoyed them the most this year, or like I enjoyed what they were doing, or like something about them really made them stand out as one of my favorites. My mom just drove by and she's staring at me like a crazy person. I wanted to just say, like, before I start this list, that the people on this list are artists that I figured I want to put on here. If you disagree, there's other artists that you think really deserve to be on this list, and let me know down in the comment section below. I want to give like 4 honorable mentions to artists who I feel like I could have put on this list, but decided against for one reason or another. And one of them was Ed Sheeran. Love the quality of his music, and he's super talented. But I feel like just the content doesn't mess with me. Hillsong, I guess as a whole, like Hillsong has different divisions, I guess. Hillsong United put out an album called Wonder that I feel like was really good. It was a really good album, and there's certain like songs where I was like, oh, this is amazing. But like sometimes just like their large instrumental breaks are weird, like just a style difference. 1K Few, I feel like he has a lot to offer, and I'm gonna try and listen out more for him in the future. And the band Skillet, they just didn't really release anything in 2017, but I was introduced to their music this year, so I wanted to just put them out there like that. But yeah, on to the actual list of my top 5 favorite artists of 2017. Number 5, and hate me if you will, but this is an artist who I've stuck behind since day one, even though there was a period where they were making very bad life choices. But I felt like in 2017, I really started to grow more of an appreciation for this artist and what they've been doing, because I guess I wasn't quite seeing it before. And it's Justin Bieber. Now, yes, Justin technically didn't release an album in 2017, and maybe not a lot of singles himself, but he's been doing a lot of different features, as well as been doing some really great stuff with social media. And weirdly enough, he canceled some of his tour dates this year because he wanted to reconnect with God. And I thought, like, when I had heard that was very interesting, because I know that he was spending some time, not in 2017, but in the past, he spent some time living with the pastors of Hillsong in Australia, I want to say. And like after hearing about that, it just kind of made me think to myself, like, maybe there's like something else there that like I wasn't seeing before. But like what he's been doing like with SoundCloud and Instagram and Twitter, I think has just been really good. And I feel like by association of like actions he's made or certain artists that he collaborates with, it's kind of like he's kind of seen as like a bad artist, or because of like his high-pitched voice, like people say like, oh no, he's terrible or whatever. But like I feel like people gotta just like stop like unnecessarily hating people because they sound different or because they are associated with a certain group or certain actions that they've done. And I feel like Justin Bieber is someone who like I can really get behind where he's going as opposed to what he's done, if that makes any sense. Number 4 is Lecrae. Lecrae had such a great 2017. I feel like he's honestly like he was crushing it from like summer of last year up until this year. Last year, after he released his mixtape Church Close 3, he then put out a single called Destination that was kind of like about depression. And like then throughout like the next year and a half, like he's just been releasing like hit after hit after hit, and he's been doing like understand like what he did. Like he's been collaborating with Tori Kelly, Ty Dolla $ign, Metro Boomin, like all these different people, like whether they're like artists or producers. It's like what he's done is like so valuable in the sense that like he wasn't just making Lecrae music. He was making music for like a greater audience. Like he was making music for lots of different kinds of people, and he was being deep with this message. Like he has songs where he's talking about like social injustice, and he has songs where like with the song he did with Tori Kelly, he's using the song to raise awareness for like St. Jude's Hospital and like children's cancer research. He's just all around been doing some really cool stuff, and his album ATWT, All Things Work Together, was just phenomenal. I just really love the work that he did on it. Some people didn't like the fact that he released so many singles, but I felt like it worked more in his favor than against. Number 3 is KB. Now this one's kind of cheating because KB is one of my favorite rappers, but he released his album 2 months ago. Today We Rebel. In all honesty, is one of those things where it's like it wasn't the album itself that was really good, but I felt like it was that like within the songs, just like what he talks about and his worldview is just so interesting. What he's been doing socially, he's been doing a lot of interviews so that you understand the heart behind the songs, and I feel like that kind of makes it something more to me, I guess. It makes it something more to people just in general. And he started a new business called Native North, which is like I want to say it's a merchandising company, or it's more of like a creative, like a marketing company. I don't know, but like he doesn't just sell his own merch. He like has a company that creates the merch, and then he sells it. So it's like he doesn't have to depend on an outside source. And he's been doing really good things, like business-wise, in his own community. But yeah, just like honestly, that's all I can say. He just did everything right, honestly, this year. I felt like I didn't really hear much of him during the first half of the year, but that's because he was on tour. He did an entire tour off of one song he released last year, and then he was on tour for King and Country, and then he went on another tour. So he's just been working really hard, and I admire that, and I feel like he's definitely gonna go places and do some great things. Number 2 is Gavi. Okay, this one's, I guess, kind of more obscure. He was known, I guess, kind of like as someone who produced for Lecrae for a long time. And so he would produce for Lecrae, produce for Andy Mineo, produce for Tripoli, and all these different artists. But then he was signed to Reach Records last year, Lecrae's record label. And, at first I was kind of like, oh, this would be like weird, like interesting, I guess, to see like having a producer signed to a hip-hop record label. But in all honesty, he did some really good stuff. He released 2 EPs last year, and then his album this year, We Belong, was really good. And I feel like Gavi, like, he exists in like this space where like EDM and hip-hop and pop and indie and gospel all meet together, and it like creates something different, like a very unique style. And he's just been releasing music left and right, and maybe that's just like the nature of being a producer. Like he's been like making songs so often that now, since the songs are his own, it's like, oh yeah, I've got a whole album ready, oh I've got a whole EP ready, oh here's a new single, here's a music video, here's a lyric video. He's just like pumping out song after song, and they're not just throwaway songs, they're actual high quality music. Like it's actual high quality music. And like it's cool how he has like that like Latin feel to it with a lot of them, whereas other ones it's more of like a really like hip hop EDM feel. Like different songs produce a different feeling inside of you, if that makes any sense. Like he makes you actually feel something with the music, and I really appreciate that, and I think that's something that I really want to do too. Like I want to make people feel something in my music. But yeah, like, I just gotta commend Gavi and just an incredible job he did. Like, of course, before as a producer, and with Rima Soul and with Reach Records, and as his first full year as an artist on Lecrae's record label, he did some really good stuff. And then number 1 on this list is an artist who originally wasn't on here. Originally, Skillet was on this list, but then I chose this artist instead to be like the number 1, and then moved all the other artists back one place. And a couple years ago, there was like this time where I felt like a lot of artists were like releasing albums where they weren't really collaborating with other people, and I felt like it held them back from being like as good as they could have been. And then this artist just started collaborating with everyone. Like there were so many songs like it wasn't their song, but they brought new life to the song. And I feel like that was really cool. This artist had that ability and whatnot. And after listening to their EP that they released 2 years ago, I started to kind of keep my eyes on them, and that is Holland. Now, Holland is definitely an interesting artist. She's worked with a lot of people like Derek Minor, Andy Mineo, KB, Stephen Malcolm, and just like this year she released her album One Way Conversations, and I felt like everything about it was just done really well. Like they didn't release all the songs at once, they released them little by little, at least on YouTube, with these like little like graphic things like swirled around and whatnot. And then of course it's on Spotify. And then she did a song with Andy Mineo and Stephen Malcolm where it showed up on both of their albums, and I thought it was a really creative and different idea. And I feel like what really made Holland stand out to me was like not necessarily just that she was made great music, but that she made great music with other people. I felt like that was like the real valuable part of it for me. And like sometimes she does like a little like she like raps. I mean, I guess like you could call it rapping, but like just like Gavi, she exists in this space where it's like different genres coming together, where it's like it's a little bit of hip hop as well as pop and EDM, and I feel like she really found her sound. And she works a lot with Capital Kings, who's I guess also exists in this space where like they're combining the genres like EDM and like it's like Christian EDM, but also like pop, also contemporary. But then Holland is like this contemporary pop, hip hop kind of feel. And I think that she did an amazing job with her album, and she's been doing an amazing job with her collaborations and just everything she's been doing. Maybe in terms of like social engagement, she didn't do as much as KB, and what she's been doing on social media is good, but not as good as what Justin Bieber's been doing. But all the artists on this list I feel like deserve to be on here for different reasons. They're not the best of 2017. They're not the top 5 artists of 2017. They're just my top 5 favorite artists of 2017. So let me know what you guys are in the comments. And if you're wondering why I am outside with all these boxes, it's I'm on winter break and I'm hanging out at my house up in Northern California. Usually I go to school in Southern California, but I'm up in NorCal right now. So I'm gonna be doing most of my videos like with my arm instead of with my usual setup and whatnot. But hey, it's an opportunity to experiment. Yeah, I'll see you guys again soon with another video. Who knows what it might be about. But yeah, my name's AJ Akpodiete, but you can call me AJ for short. And let me know in the comments below, who are your top 5 favorite artists of 2017. All right, bye.